Okay, and going over some of the fittings for copper pipe, okay, for a Pro Press. The one thing to note right here is on these fittings, you'll see a green dot, okay? So that green dot is important, all right, as it's telling you, I don't know if this one has it, that one doesn't, but these ones have the green dot right there, that indicates that this is for water use. Okay, so I have copper fittings that are for water use. Okay, so these different fittings that I have right here, you know, are for different sizes. Like this one right here is for a 1/2 inch. This is for a 3/4. This is for an 1.25 inches. Now, you would see like a 3/4 pipe like this. If I was going to use that to go in there, I would take a piece of sanding cloth, all right, and I clean up the end of that pipe far enough for when this fitting is going to go in. I do not do anything to this fitting to clean it up. The inside is fine. I don't want to do anything to scratch the O-ring that's in there. If you scratch the O-ring that's in there, this fitting is no good. Then you would simply take this and it slides over the pipe, okay? And where I have it slide over is where I use the sanding cloth to be able to clean that up. Now, one thing of note, if you're using a tubing cutter and you cut this pipe, okay, on the end of your tubing cutter, there's usually a burr cleaner, okay? And it would go and it would clean out the inner part right here where I'm kind of catching my finger. Because as you use a tubing cutter to cut a pipe, you're kind of pressing that pipe inward as you cut it. And when you do that, you get this little ridge here. You can clean that ridge out. That ridge will not cut this O-ring up as it's inside the pipe. Now, if that ridge was out here on this part of the pipe right here, and you tried to slide that in, you're going to cut that O-ring, and if you cut that O-ring, even when you go and you press this with the Pro Press, it's going to still leak because you've destroyed that rubber ring that's in there, okay? These different fittings, along with different things like ball valves, so this is just a coupler fitting, okay? This is also a coupler fitting, but this one has a dent right in the center of it. So that dent, if I was to slide a pipe through here, it's only going to allow a pipe coming in this way to go that far, only allowing a pipe coming in this way to go that far because of that dent on the inside here. This one does not have a dent, okay? So this would be a slip coupling, which will slide all the way through a pipe where you could see the connection that you were going to make and then slide back over it, okay? But this one is going to stop the pipe right here rather than allowing the pipe to slide all the way through, okay? Now over here, we also have a valve. So you can have a Pro Press valve, okay? This will actually stop the pipe at a certain point. So this is a 3/4 and it's a little tighter on that side. So what I would encourage then is you take your sanding cloth, sand it down a little more, okay? And again, it's a little tight, okay? So when you have something that is that tight, okay, then you definitely are going to have to try to thin this out and deburr a little bit more. It also could be the gauge of the pipe. So this pipe is a little bit thicker, okay? But you would want to make sure that when this pipe comes in here, it would flow freely all the way to this point. So this is where your O-ring is. You want to make sure that you're going to get all the way to here before you crush this part with your Pro Press tool to make sure that you get a good seal. And remember, just a little follow through on ball valves, okay? Ball valves, if the handle is going parallel with the fitting, that means that allows flow. You can see that in there. If I turn it, you can see I have blocked the flow. So you can actually see as I'm turning it right there, how it allows flow and blocks the flow, okay? And then opens, all right? So that's how a ball valve works. But these are different types of fittings that can be used on copper pipe, okay, that again are water flowing because of the green dot with ProPress.